right? So software is that part of computer which we cannot see or touch, but without software, the hardware, it cannot perform the functions, right? So if we talk about the software, there are two types of software. Okay, the first one is a system software, second one is a application software, right? So system software and the application software. So at first we will go with the system software. So what is system software? Student, system software, it is a collection of programs, right? It is a collection of programs that control the overall operations and the internal working of a computer that goes in the system, right? So it reads the data from input devices, and after processing it transfer the information to the output devices, right? So the system software are of three types: operating software, utility software, and language processor. So the first one is the operating software, right? So what is operating system? Operating system, it's operating system, right? Operating system, and this is utility software. Okay, so what is operating system? So student, an operating system, this is needed so as to operate a computer, right? Because it controls overall activities of the computer, right? Because it acts as a link between the hardware and the user. Okay, so this is how it is. It makes the function easier, so that it enables us so that we can work together. Okay, so when the computer is switched on, the operating system is the first program that is loaded into the memory, right? So if we talk about the functions of the operating system, it controls the working of all the input and output devices in a computer, right? And for the memory management, operating system, it assigns the memory to the various programs whenever they are required, right? So it also frees the memory when it is not in use, right? And operating system, it runs the application software. Likewise, if we talk about the Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, etc., and many more, right? And operating system, it manages the work of the processor by allocating the various types of jobs, assigning the various types of jobs to it, right? And it also helps to keep the track of the information regarding the creation or transfer or copy or deletion of the various files in a computer, and that too in a organized manner, right? Besides these, it also provides the security, okay, and by the means of the password, so as the misuse can be prevented of a computer. Okay, students. So operating system, they are of many types. The first one is the single user operating system. So student, the single user operating system, it only allow one user to use the computer system at any particular given time period. And multi-user, as its name suggests, it allows the multiple user on the different computer to access the system at the same time, right? Like if we in the lab, many of the printers are attached with like the printer is attached with all of the devices in a lab. So this is multi-user. And if we talk about the multitasking operating system, it allow a user so that to run more than one application program at the same time, right? So in multitasking, the operating system keep the track of the program, and it allows so that so as to switch from one program to another without losing the both even the prior or the after program, right? Now next is the utility programs. So what is utility software? Utility software, that means it is specially designed, right? So utility software, it performs the specific task, right? It is for the specific purpose only, and that is for the purpose of the managing a computer. So its devices or its program, these program, they assist in the smooth functioning of a computer, and it helps in the better performance, right? So some of the utility software like the They are used so as to avoid the virus attack. Some are used to take the backup of data, and so on and so forth. Like, next is the network utility. So student, network utility, what does it do? Network utility, it checks the network connectivity and the configuration of the devices that are connected, right? So it examines the network speed and the performances, right? Monitors the network traffic and tracks the bandwidth usage so that it can be used efficiently, right? The next is the file manager. So student, the file manager, it is a utility software program that help the user to perform the various operation on a file, just like editing, copying, deleting, right? So it helps in managing the files and folders and organizing them in the computer's storage devices, right? So that it can be used for the further references. Okay. Next one is disk management. So disk management is also a utility software that enables a user to view and manage the disk drive, right? And which disk drive that are already installed in the computer, right? So it can be used to partition the drives, right? And format the drives and assign the assign the drive letters and many more options it can do, right? Next is scanning. So what is scanning? Scanning, it is an act of examining the computer, right? And what for? So that to prevent it from the possible viruses or the malware that can attack the computer software, right? So it is done by the antivirus utility, right? So this utility provide a protection of our computer against the virus attack, right? Likewise, we know the antiviruses like the Quick Heal, Avast, AVJ, Norton, and so on, right? Next is the backup, right? So what is this used for? Backup, as its name suggests, it is a process of recovering the data if in case it was being lost accidentally, right? So it can be regained again, right? So how to access the and restore a utility backup? How can we do that? At first, we have to go to the start button on the control panel, and then we have to click on the backup and the store option. Okay. After that, a new window will be appear. Then on that, we have to click on the setup backup icon, right? Then window will start the processing of the backup. Okay. So the setup backup dialog box that will appear on the screen. So in that, we have to select the drive here where we want to back up the file. Okay. And after that, we have to click the next button. Okay. So the next screen appears as if with pop up like what to do with the backup, right? So you will notice that the let window choose recommended option is selected by its own, right, by default. And if you continue with this option, the computer takes the backup of all the data and that will be stored in the system, right? After that, you can also use for the another option like let me choose. If we will not go for the backup like for the default, then you can choose the let me choose, and then you can pick up those items which you want the computer to backup, right? And that is on a regular schedule. So after selecting the desired option, you can click on the next button. So the next window prompts uh, you for the backup settings. So after this, when you have reviewed the backup job and make sure that everything is correct, now you can schedule the date and the time and the days on which the backup occurs, right? For backupping the data by clicking on the change schedule option, and after that you have to click on the save settings and then run backup option, and then afterwards the backup process will be started, right? Next is the compression. So student, this is a process, this is a shrinking process. Okay, so the files that are very big, right? So so as to decrease the size of the file, it needs to be compressed, right? so as to be easier, so as to be very easy for the sending as an email attachment, right? So these files, they cannot be read directly, and they have to be, compressed to their actual form so as to be used, right? So there are various compression utility software like the WinZip. Okay, so using that we can compress the existing file, right? So as to make its size smaller. Okay, students. Next is language processor. So student, every software that we know that computer only understands the language of the zeros and ones, right? So the programs that are written in the languages, in the other languages, that cannot be recognized by the computer. Okay, so for that, a language processor, it plays a vital role, okay, for the translating the programs so as to be read by the mechanical by the computer in the form of a mechanical language. Okay, and for that we have assembler, interpreter, and compiler. So what is the work of each? So assembler, it translate that converted code so as to be written in assembly language into machine language, right? It An assembler, it translate is a translator, right? That convert the code written in assembly language into machine language. And interpreter, what it do? An interpreter, it translate the program code line by line, okay? And with along with that, it also execute the converted line, okay? It converts and execute, okay? And if any of the error is being found out, the error, it do not proceeds it, and the error is being rectified at that time, and then repeat the procedure of the remaining instruction, whatever it is being provided, right? The last one is the compiler. What is the work of a compiler? A compiler is a translator, right? What is the work of it? It is a translator program that converts the whole of the program into the equivalent machine code, right? And it generates the object code for the program along with the list of the errors, like, right? So next is the application software. So this is all about the system software. Now we will go to the application software. So student, what is the application software? So these are the set of programs that are being developed by the programmer for the performance of the specific type of jobs. Okay, like for calculations or for arranging the data in a manner, or like for, in a case like making airline or reservations, railway reservation system, and so on, etc and etc, right? So computer languages, they are used to create these type of software. Okay, so the application software, they can be divided into the two categories. The first one is a general purpose application software, okay, that is the packages, okay, and the second one is a special purpose application software, right? So in general purpose, like the word processing software, okay, electronic spreadsheet, database management system, the presentation software, the desktop publishing software, the graphic software, the multimedia software, these are the general purpose application software. So what is word processing software? A word processing software, it helps us to create the professional document, right? And very quickly and very efficiently, right? So we can easily add or delete or arrange or beautify the text, right? As per the requirement. Okay, next is the electronic spreadsheet. So student, what is electronic spreadsheet? It is a program that helps us to perform the calculations, right? And after calculation, we can display the data in the form of a chart, right? So that we can analyze the result better. Okay, so it is used for creating the documents and for managing and like the numerical data. Okay, so some of its application areas are like the financial accounting, interest calculations, right? So in that field it is being used. Next is the database management. So database in our daily routine, for example, if you want to manage the telephone directories or the payroll information, right? So database software, it helps us to arrange and store the large amount of information in a very organized manner, so that as and when we are in need of that, we can easily access it we can create it, we can update it, we can sort it as per the requirement, and search it, and then we can also print it. Okay. Next is presentation software. So student, what is presentation software? Presentation is software that is used to present an idea in a lively manner, right? So this helps us to create or display the slide. Likewise, we can create a slide, we can add on a slide so that it can be projected while using the projector, like for the business and educational purposes you have seen, right? Okay. So next is the desktop publishing software. So this application helps us to combine both text and the graphical features, right? Okay. So it makes a professional document, for example, in the printed form or in the advertisement or the brochures, posters, magazines, etc. and etc. Right. Next is the graphic software. So student, what is it? It is used to create the images, like we can create the photograph, the graph or the chart, logos, cartoon, and so on and so forth. Okay. Likewise, in the case of the Photoshop or the Dreamweaver software, okay, we can do these things. Next is the multimedia software. So it is used to create video or the animation or the graphics and text and the sounds, like, and the degree of interaction. So we can do with the help of the multimedia software, like the window media player we have for playing up of the music, and the and various of the software, multimedia software, they are for the general purposes usage, right? Next is a special application purpose application software. Okay. So special purpose application software, special purpose of software, they are used for the specific purposes, right? So these are the software, they are designed so as to meet the specific need of any of the user, right? So that are designed for the specific needs, so these are known as a specific purpose application software. Okay. They are the customized software, like the Tally or Busy. Okay. So they are for the they are used for the specific purpose only. Okay. So designed for that. Next is operational software system. So what is that? Operational support system. This is a special type of software, right? And this is installed by communicating service providers so as to operate, like the monitor, analyze, and manage the computer, right? uh, on the client's computer. Okay. So operational support system, that is also known as the it is also called as the operational support system. Sorry. So it is often installed on the server computer, and the work of it is for supporting the network processes or to maintain the network inventory, and to configure the network components, and to, as and when if any of the fault happens, so as to manage the faults, and for the provision of the services. Okay. Next is, we have defragmentation. So student, before going through defragmentation, we have to understand what is fragmentation, right? So fragmentation, it occurs when the hard disk does not find the memory so as to store the large files, right? So it occurs when there is a lack of the scarcity of the space in the drive. So at that time, what happens is, it basically slows down the retrieval of the data, right? Why? Because the hard disk, it cannot access the data quickly, and it is in the scattered over the disk. So fragmented data, it is need to be arranged, and it is need to be consolidated, so that to have the disk free space, and this is known as the defragmentation. So the process for that is defragmentation. So the disk defragmentation runs, that is run on the schedule basis, right? So for that, if we want to defragment the disk, the various are the steps. At first, we have to click on the start button, then we have to go to all programs, and then accessories, and then system tools, and then disk fragmenters. After that, the window will appear on the screen, right? So we have to select the disk that we want to defragment from the disk column. Okay. So in that, we can do it, and then after that, we can click on the defragment disk tab, and the process of defragmentation will be started, and it just takes a few minutes to finish on, right? So this is all about the software, second chapter, types of software, right? So you do revise the chapter, go through the chapter in brief. Okay, so till then, be safe, be inside, and keep learning.